The Dhaulagiri Circuit is a trek of immense scale and challenge. It is not for the faint of heart. This journey takes you around the 7th highest mountain in the world, Dhaulagiri 1, which stands at a formidable 8,167 meters. Unlike the more frequented trails of Everest Base Camp or the Annapurna Circuit, this path remains wild and untamed. It offers a raw, authentic Himalayan experience. Trekkers who venture here are rewarded with unparalleled views of towering peaks, immense glaciers, and remote valleys. The route is a true expedition, requiring careful planning and a spirit of adventure. It is a walk through some of the most dramatic landscapes on Earth. This trek is considered one of the most demanding in Nepal. The trail traverses high passes, including the French Pass at 5,360 meters and the Dhampus Pass at 5,244 meters. It requires trekkers to be self-sufficient for several days, as much of the route passes through uninhabited wilderness with no tea houses. Camping is a necessity for a significant portion of the journey. This isolation is part of its profound appeal. It allows for a deep connection with the mountains, far from the commercial hustle of more popular routes. The sense of accomplishment upon completing this circuit is profound, a memory etched by the sheer magnitude of the landscape. The journey begins in the lower, warmer regions of the Myagdi-Kola Valley. It gradually ascends through terraced fields and rhododendron forests. The path then leads into the high, arid alpine zones, a world of ice and rock. The contrast in scenery is breathtaking. You will witness the transition from lush green foothills to the stark, powerful beauty of the high Himalaya. This trek is more than just a walk. It is an exploration of diverse ecosystems and cultures. You will pass through villages inhabited by Gurung and Magar people, offering a glimpse into their traditional way of life before you venture into the silent, empty spaces above. The popularity of the Dhaulagiri Circuit lies precisely in its difficulty and remoteness. It attracts seasoned trekkers seeking a greater challenge, a route that tests their endurance and mountaineering skills. The path is not a simple tea house trek. It requires a commitment to wilderness camping and navigating unpredictable mountain weather. The reward for this effort is solitude and a sense of discovery that is increasingly rare. Standing in the shadow of the White Mountain, as Dhaulagiri is known, is a humbling and unforgettable experience. It is a journey that pushes your limits and expands your understanding of what is possible in the Great Mountains. Before you can set foot on the Dhaulagiri Trail, you must secure the correct permits. These are not optional, they are a legal requirement for trekking in this region. The primary permit needed is the Annapurna Conservation Area Permit, or ACAP. Even though the trek is focused on Dhaulagiri, the route enters and exits through the Annapurna region. This permit helps fund the conservation efforts within this vast and ecologically important area. The cost for the ACAP is Nepalese rupees 3,000 per person, which is approximately $23. This fee is standard for all foreign nationals and is payable at the Nepal Tourism Board office in Kathmandu or Pokhara. In addition to the ACAP, you will need a Trekker's Information Management System card or TIMS card. This system is designed to ensure the safety and security of trekkers in the Himalayas. By registering your trek, authorities can track your general location and provide assistance in case of an emergency, such as an earthquake or if you are reported missing. The TIMS card costs Nepalese rupees 2,000 per person for individual trekkers, which is roughly $15. If you are trekking with a registered agency, the cost is reduced to Nepalese rupees 1,000 per person, or about $7.50. It is a small price for an added layer of safety in a remote environment. The Dhaulagiri region is also classified as a restricted area, which necessitates a special permit. This is known as the Restricted Area Permit, or RAP. The cost for this permit varies depending on the duration of your trek within the designated zone. For the first 10 days, the fee is $100 per person. For each additional day beyond the initial 10, the cost is an extra $15 per day per person. This permit must be arranged through a registered trekking agency in Nepal. You cannot obtain this permit as an independent trekker. The government requires that you trek with a licensed guide in these sensitive areas. It is important to remember that these permit fees are non-negotiable and must be paid in full before you begin your trek. Your trekking agency will typically handle all the paperwork for you, which simplifies the process considerably. They will require your passport and several passport-sized photos to secure the permits on your behalf. Ensure you carry the permits with you at all times during the trek, as they will be checked at various checkpoints along the route. Failing to produce the correct documents can result in fines and may even force you to abandon your trek. Proper preparation is key to a smooth and successful journey. Hiring a guide and porter is not just a convenience on the Dhaulagiri circuit, it is a practical necessity. Given the route's remoteness and technical challenges, a licensed guide is mandatory for obtaining the restricted area permit. A good guide offers much more than just navigation. They are your connection to the local culture, your safety manager, and your logistical expert. The daily cost for a professional licensed trekking guide typically ranges from $25 to $35 per day. This fee includes their food, accommodation, and insurance, which is a crucial consideration. A knowledgeable guide can make the difference between a successful trek and a perilous ordeal. Porters are the unsung heroes of any Himalayan expedition. They carry the bulk of your gear, including tents, food, and personal belongings, allowing you to walk with only a light day pack. This makes the strenuous ascent over high passes far more manageable and enjoyable. A porter will usually carry up to 20 to 25 kilograms. The cost of hiring a porter is generally between $20 and $25 per day. This price also includes their food, accommodation, and insurance. It is common practice for one porter to carry the gear for two trekkers, which helps to split the cost and makes it more affordable. When you hire staff through a reputable trekking agency, you are ensuring they are treated fairly. A good agency will provide their guides and porters with proper wages, insurance coverage, and adequate equipment for high-altitude conditions, such as warm clothing and sunglasses. This ethical consideration is vital. Attempting to hire staff informally on the street might seem cheaper, but it often leads to exploitation and puts both you and your staff at risk. Always verify that the agency you choose has a strong policy on staff welfare. Your support helps sustain the local communities that make these treks possible. Remember to budget for tipping your guide and porter at the end of the trek. While it is not mandatory, it is a deeply ingrained custom and a way to show your appreciation for their hard work and companionship. A general guideline is to tip around 10 to 15% of the total cost of their service. For a guide, this might be around $150 to $200 for a 3-week trek, and for a porter, around $100 to $150. It is best to give the tips directly to them in separate envelopes on the last evening of the trek. This gesture of gratitude is a wonderful way to conclude your shared journey in the mountains. The Dhaulagiri Circuit presents a unique challenge when it comes to food and accommodation. The first and last few days of the trek pass through villages with basic tea houses. In these lower altitude settlements, you can expect to pay around $5 to $10 per night for a simple room with 2 beds. Meals in these tea houses will cost approximately $5 to $8 each. So a typical daily budget for food and lodging in these sections would be about $25 to $35 per person. The menus will offer standard trekker fare, such as dal bhat, lentil soup with rice, noodles, potatoes, and Tibetan bread. However, the core of the Dhaulagiri trek is a wilderness camping experience. Once you leave the last village, usually Italian base camp, you'll be in uninhabited territory for about a week until you reach Marpha. During this period, all food and shelter must be carried with you. This is where trekking with an organized group becomes essential. The agency will provide tents, a dining tent, a toilet tent, and all cooking equipment. They'll also employ a cook and kitchen staff who will prepare 3 hot meals a day. The quality of food on a camping trek is often surprisingly high, with varied and nutritious meals. The cost of this fully supported camping section is incorporated into the overall package price provided by your trekking agency. It's significantly more expensive than tea house trekking due to the extensive logistics involved. All food supplies must be purchased in a town like Beni or Pokhara and carried by porters for the entire duration of the trek. This includes everything from rice and lentils to vegetables, spices, and fuel for cooking. The logistical effort is immense. requiring a large team of porters to support even a small group of trekkers. This self-sufficiency is what really defines the expeditionary nature of the Dhaulagiri circuit. When budgeting, it's wise to carry extra cash for personal snacks, drinks, and any unforeseen expenses. While tea houses are absent in the high regions, you can still buy items like bottled water, soft drinks, or chocolate bars in the villages at the beginning and end of the trek. Prices for these items increase significantly with altitude. For example, a bottle of water that costs 25 rupees in Pokhara might cost 200 or more in a high-altitude village. To manage costs and reduce plastic waste, it's highly recommended to bring a reusable water bottle and a water purification system like tablets or a filter. The cost of the Dhaulagiri Circuit Trek varies significantly based on your trekking style and group size. For a solo trekker, the expenses are highest on a per-person basis. You must hire a guide, a porter, and a full camping crew, and the entire cost falls on you alone. A private, fully supported trek for a single person can range from $3,500 to $4,500 US. This includes all permits, guide and porter fees, ground transportation, camping equipment, and all meals and accommodation. For a couple or small private group of 2 to 4 people, the per-person cost decreases. You can share the cost of the guide, camping crew, and equipment. The price will likely fall between $2,500 and $3,500 per person. This provides the flexibility of a private trip, allowing you to set your own pace and itinerary. The shared costs make it more economical than going solo while retaining the intimacy of a small group. The most budget-friendly option is to join a larger group organized by a trekking agency. These fixed departure treks typically have 8 to 12 participants. The cost per person is usually in the range of $2,200 to $2,800. This is excellent for solo trekkers who wish to reduce costs and meet like-minded adventurers. The itinerary is fixed, so there's less flexibility, but it provides a structured and secure way to experience this trek. When comparing prices between agencies, it's crucial to look closely at what is included. A cheaper quote may exclude vital elements like meals, porter's insurance, or ground transportation. A reputable company will provide a transparent, all-inclusive price. Always ask for a detailed list of inclusions and exclusions. Remember that on a trek of this magnitude, cutting corners on safety and logistics is a false economy. Investing in a well-organized trip with a reliable agency is the best way to ensure a safe and memorable journey. A classic Dhaulagiri circuit itinerary spans about 18 days, beginning with a drive and ending in the charming town of Marpha. The journey starts in Naura at 1,570 meters, from where the trek truly begins. From here, the path follows the Myagdi Kola, passing through villages like Bega at 2,080 meters and Dobang at 2,520 meters. The first week is a gradual ascent through lush forests, allowing for steady acclimatization. A key point is reaching the Italian base camp at 3,660 meters, which serves as a crucial acclimatization stop before heading into the high, desolate wilderness. Proper acclimatization days are built into the schedule to help your body adjust to the thinning air. The heart of the trek involves crossing 2 major passes. From Italian base camp, the trail leads to Glacier Camp and then to Dhaulagiri base camp at 4,748 meters, situated in a spectacular but intimidating amphitheater of ice and rock. After an acclimatization day here, the route tackles the French Pass at 5,360 meters, offering breathtaking views of the Dhaulagiri range. After the pass, you descend into the hidden valley, a vast, barren plateau. The next major challenge is the Dhampus Pass at 5,244 meters. The descent from Dhampus Pass can be long and demanding, finally leading down to the village of Marpha at 2,670 meters in the Kali Gandaki Valley, where the trek concludes. Altitude sickness or acute mountain sickness is a significant risk on this trek. It is caused by ascending too quickly to high altitudes where the oxygen levels are lower. Symptoms can include headache, nausea, dizziness, and fatigue. To prevent it, the golden rule is to ascend slowly. Your itinerary must include acclimatization days. Drink plenty of water, at least 3 to 4 liters per day. Avoid alcohol and smoking. A slow and steady pace is key. There's no prize for reaching the campsite first. Listen to your body and communicate any symptoms to your guide immediately. The best seasons for the Dhaulagiri Circuit are autumn, from September to November, and spring, from March to May. During these months, the weather is generally stable, the skies are clear, and the views are at their best. The temperatures are cold at high altitudes but manageable. The spring season offers the added beauty of blooming rhododendrons in the lower valleys. Trekking during the monsoon from June to August is not recommended due to heavy rain, leeches, and hazardous trail conditions. The winter, from December to February, brings extreme cold and heavy snowfall, often making the high passes impassable. Careful planning around these seasons is essential for a successful trek.